Hey everyone, this is Illuminati from the Discord Bot Makers Game Devs group, and today we're going to continue on with part 3 of our shop and money system. And in our previous videos we worked on creating a balance with the account number, as well as creating a shop list that shows what items is available for purchasing. So to move on, let's go ahead and click on create new command, and what we're gonna name it to is buy, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna create an action here. Click on check a condition. We're gonna check the parameters, and if the number of parameters equals less than 1, we're going to continue the actions, and if false, we're going to jump to an action. So click on create action, and we click on create for action 2. We'll type in a message, incorrect command input, and we'll put here buy 4 for example, and just to give them an idea of what's available, we can put aliens here. We put 1 aliens, $30, and then number 2 we will go ahead and I believe it was a hearts, and they were $50, not worth a lot. So let's go ahead and put for number 3, we'll put ant, and it was $70, and number 4 we will put in pumpkin, and they were $45, and for the 5th you can put snails, and they were $100. And then click on create action, and from here, one thing we could do, we could store the balance. So let's go ahead and create an action, and we'll click on store member data. We're going to select the command offer, put in money, the default value is 0. We're going to store it in a temp variable called current balance. Click on create action, and over here go back to the messaging, go to the bottom, and we can put your current balance, and we'll right click on the insert temp variable current balance, click the edit action, and let's put a end action in there. And click create action. Alright, so we got the first part created. Let's go ahead and save that. And if we wanted to, let's go ahead and just test it with putting in no parameter, and we should get our message here. So we'll put buy, and There we go. Gives us the usage, buy, and the number, buy for, and the items, and the current balance. Okay, so now that we got the first part done, let's go ahead and click on create action. And what we'll do is we're gonna store the members parameter, and we're gonna, where are you? Store command parameter, one parameter, and we'll name it item number to buy. Click on create action, and what we're gonna do, click on, we're gonna check the variable. So we'll go to conditions, check variable, and we're gonna select the item to buy temp variable, and we're gonna put equals 1 with the quotes, and if true we're gonna continue actions, and if false we're gonna jump 2 actions. We're gonna go back to these as we go along. Okay, so we can jump here. Here, actually, we could just take those out of the way. So let's go create. And we're going to select. We're going to put in message. Enough funds. Put that towards the bottom. Okay, so what we have here is the check variable item. If the stored parameter equals number 1, we're going to continue the actions. If false, we're going to jump to the actions. And here, let's change the send message to there is no item by that number, and click on edit action. Alright, so if they entered in they want to buy an alien, what we're going to do is we're going to check to see if they have the available funds for it. So click on conditions, and we'll go to not conditions, check member data, select command offer. We're going to select the data name as money, and is greater than 30. Being that it's 30 for an alien, and if true, we're going to continue the actions. If false, we're going to jump 2 actions, and we'll leave that empty for the moment. So moving on, if it's true that they have $30 in their funds, then we can go ahead and give them an alien. So what we'll do is we'll go to control member data. We're going to select the command offer. For the data name, we're going to put my aliens as the data name. We're going to add value and put in a value of 1. And the next thing to do is we're going to subtract the funds. So we'll go to control member data, and select the command offer, and for the data name we're going to put in the word money, and we're going to put actually it's going to be control member data. Command offer, data name is going to be the money or money, and we're going to add value and put in a -30, -30. Click on create action, and from there we can click on create, and we'll let them know that they just purchased an alien. And in here we can put, you now have, we haven't, you have now aliens. I'll explain that in a minute. We'll go here. So right underneath the second control member data, we're going to select it and click on create. And we're going to click on store member data. We're just going to select the command offer. For the data name, we're going to put my aliens and leave it at 0. And we're going to store it in temp variable aliens I have, and click create action. So going back to the you just purchased an alien message, we're going to put you now have right click, and we'll insert in the aliens I have, aliens. And we can also put in the current balance. So we'll go ahead and duplicate that store member data, open it up, and for the data name we're going to change it to money, and for the variable name we're going to put new current balance. Click on edit action, and that looks like where pretty much is. So open up send message, and for the current balance we're gonna right click and insert in the new current balance temp variable. Click on edit action, and the last thing on this, we're gonna click on create, or actually let's close out of that. Just duplicate this end action sequence and move it down to action number 13. So let's review this. If they store a command parameter 1 through 5, it's going to store it. Then it's going to check the variable. If they entered in the parameter 1, it's going to continue the actions, and if it's false, it's going to jump to this action. There's no item by that number, which is actually number 14 for now. So let's go ahead and put that in 14. And if true, that they did enter in 1 for alien, we're going to check the member data to see if they have enough money to purchase the alien. And if their money is greater than 30, then we're going to continue the actions. And if false, we're going to jump to an action. So let's go back. And underneath the send message, we're going to click on, actually what we can do is copy number 13, so clone number 13, and put it underneath the send message, and then clone the send message once more and drop it underneath the end action sequence. Now this send message here we're gonna put a message, you do not have enough funds, and we can put a current balance. Click on edit action, and let's copy this store member data here. We're gonna click on clone action, and we're gonna put it right underneath the end action sequence there. So let's open up the stored member data. For the money, we're gonna put just current balance. Click edit action and open up number 17 and insert, and we'll put in the current balance temp variable. Click edit action. Alright, so just double check number 7, and we're gonna put this action number to jump to action 16, which is store the member data for the current balance and then display the message, you do not have enough funds. Click edit action. Alright, so let's go ahead and save this and give this a run. And if false, if they do include, we're gonna jump to the action number 5, which stores the command parameter. So click edit action, and let's go ahead and run it and see what we get. So we'll go by, and let's put in a number we don't have, which is 2. And we get the message, there's no item by that number because we haven't created it yet. But let's go ahead and buy an alien. So type in buy 1. And it looks like we have an alien. You just purchased an alien, you now have 1 alien, current balance 400. So it did subtract the $30 for the alien. And one thing we could do to check, let's create a new command, and we can put in, name it my items. We'll click on create, and we're gonna store the my aliens member variable. And we'll put my aliens, leave it at 0, and we can put current aliens as the temp variable name. Click on create. For the send message, we can put your items, aliens, and we can insert the temp variable current aliens. Click on create action. Go ahead and save it and run it. And in Discord, let's type in my items, and we have our other alien. It displays the current alien. So let's just go ahead and make sure that all works correct. So we now have 2 aliens, subtracted the money, and we can check our items. We have 2 aliens. So, moving back to the buy button, basically what we can do is just clone all these actions for the items 2, 3, and 4 from actions 5 to actions number 12. Just you can close them and put it underneath each one. So what we'll do is we'll clone this action and we'll drop it down to underneath action 14. Clone action, drop it back down to 15. Basically what we're doing, we're just cloning all these actions for the second item. I believe we have to restore. And the last one, clone the message. And this needs to be down here. Okay, so basically being that we move some things around, this goes here. Alright, so end action, send a message, no number, we end that, and that ends it. Okay, so we look like we got our second action, but now we just gotta go clean it up a bit. So it looks like it's 7 for each group. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then end action. And then we have the same thing repeating for item number 2. 1, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and the end action. So to close this up, we'll go to the action 14, open that up, and we're gonna change the value to compare to be item number 2, and if false, we're gonna jump it to there is no item by that number. So it's action number 22. Now as you add more items, you're gonna have to change these. What you can do is always also just put skip next actions, but if it's easier, you can just jump it to an action number. And for the second check variable or action, we're going to check the money, and if it's not greater than 50, we're going to jump to action, I believe it's 24. Yes. So we open that up and put in 24. And for the control member data, we're going to put my hearts for the second item and leave everything else the same. for the money data, we're gonna subtract 50, so it'll be minus 50. And for the store member data, we're gonna change the data name to my hearts, and the temp variable name to hearts I have, and click edit action. The new current balance, we can leave that alone and leave it as the same. And for the send message, we'll just edit it to what they purchased. In this case it's in heart, and we can change this to hearts and insert in the temp variable hearts I have, and click on edit action. And the last thing we need to do is this check per command parameter, just to make sure it'll jump to 5. So it looks like we're pretty much set here. Let's go to the my items command, and we're gonna clone this stored member data, open it up, and we're gonna change the data name to my hearts, and the temp variable name to current hearts. Click on edit action and save. One last thing, we'll put hearts here and put in the hearts, current hearts variable. Click on edit action. Let's save this and run it. And we'll go by 3 to make sure we get the message. There's no item by that number. And we'll go now by a heart. So by 2. And you just purchased in heart. You now have 1 heart. It charged $50. And we can type in my items. And we have 2 aliens and 1 hearts. And that's basically it. How you create a shop, a money system, as well as items that you can have your users purchase. Now, of course, you can develop these more in depth and have more real items, or have them purchase like access to certain channels or things of that nature. So feel free to play with it, and feel free to join our Discord group. The link's on the description below, as well as access this raw data for this command so that you can further develop it for your own projects. So once again, it's been my pleasure, and this is Illuminati from the Discord Bot Makers Game Devs group. Wish you all a pleasant evening. Thanks for liking and subscribing. Have a good one.